There are moments, so small they almost disappear, a sentence you swear you've already heard, an object you know was somewhere else, a memory that no longer agrees with the world around it. Most people ignore these moments. They move on, correct the inconsistency, forget it happened, but occasionally, something lingers, a quiet suspicion that reality briefly revealed a seam it was never supposed to show. Welcome to Mysterious Encounters. Tonight, we open another entry. From the Veil Archives, we have explored strange people, strange places, strange patterns hidden beneath ordinary life, but now we turn towards something closer, something that may have happened to almost everyone, the moments when reality itself seems uncertain, not broken, not shattered, simply unstable. Tonight we investigate reality anomalies, the glitched world. It begins with a feeling, a conversation unfolds, a person speaks, a sound occurs, and suddenly, certainty arrives. You know what happens next, not because you are predicting it, because it feels as though it already happened. Every word, every movement, every detail. For a brief moment, the present feels duplicated. Not remembered, repeated, then it passes. The conversation continues. The world moves forward, yet something remains. The unsettling sensation that time briefly folded over itself and allowed you to see the same moment twice. Perhaps the most common anomaly involves ordinary objects, keys, books, glasses, a phone, an item placed somewhere specific. You remember putting it there, you search, nothing. The object is gone minutes later, hours later, sometimes days later. It returns, not nearby, not hidden, returned, appearing in the exact location. Already searched multiple times, most explanations are reasonable. Distraction, memory, human error. Yet some experiences resist those explanations, not because the object vanished, because the certainty remains, the feeling that something changed while no one was looking. Memory is often treated as a recording, a stored archive of the past, but memory behaves more like a story, and stories change. What makes certain anomalies unsettling is when multiple people remember the same thing, a phrase, a detail, an event, a version of reality that no longer seems to exist. The evidence says one thing, memory says another. Neither side fully yields. And so the question remains, are memories unreliable? Or are they preserving traces of past reality no longer follows? There are moments when familiarity arrives too early. You meet someone and somehow know the shape of the interaction before it unfolds, not because of intuition, not because of observation. The feeling arrives first, as though the encounter is catching up to something already experienced elsewhere. A conversation feels pre-written, a choice feels anticipated, a moment feels expected, not predicted, recognized, as though reality occasionally echoes ahead of its own arrival. Perhaps the strangest possibility is not that anomalies occur. Perhaps the strangest possibility is that reality requires constant continuity. To appear stable, every object, every memory, every interaction, every moment, perfectly aligned, perfectly consistent, every second. The world feels solid because its patterns repeat reliably. But what happens when the pattern briefly reveals itself? What happens when continuity becomes visible? Not enough to break reality, only enough to notice it. We often assume anomalies are mistakes, errors, failures, glitches. But what if there's something else? Not evidence that reality is broken, evidence that reality is constructed, not artificially, not mechanically, but continuously, moment after moment, pattern after pattern, a world assembled so seamlessly that we rarely notice its edges until one day, Something repeats, something shifts, something appears where it should not be, and for a brief instant the structure becomes visible. Then the seam closes, and the world continues, as though nothing happened. Perhaps reality is not breaking. Perhaps we occasionally notice how difficult it is to keep reality appearing whole, like seeing a stitch in a tapestry meant to look seamless, a crack in a mask, a ripple beneath still water. Brief, unexplained, then gone, and yet once you have seen it, ordinary certainty never feels quite the same again. They appear in doorways, at the end of hallways, beside beds, at the edge of vision, almost never speaking, almost always watching, for centuries. People have reported seeing them, dark silhouettes, human shapes, presences that seem to exist between visibility and absence. The strange part is not the sightings. The strange part is the consistency. Across cultures, across generations, across entirely different lives, and in the next entry of the Veil Archives, we investigate the figures that seem to wait at the boundary between perception and presence. Not fully seen, not fully understood, but never entirely forgotten. The next Veil Archives entry, the shadow figures, the watchers at the edge. Some things never fully enter the room. They simply wait at the threshold.